Greeny, it was Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama. Coming into the combine, all we heard is what he couldn't do. He didn't finish great. He only had 15 career starts. He is the best thrower of the football. He is clearly QB2. There's a much bigger gap between QB2 and QB3 than QB1. Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson. Outstanding workout on Saturday.
Dan, what did you think?
I thought Ty Simpson, two things. The ball came off his hand the most naturally and the best feet. I agree. Also, the fact that he weighed in about 10 to 15 more pounds than he did when he was playing at the end of the season for Alabama. Clearly thought it was the best quarterback performance. And I think it solidifies his first half of the first round standing.
That's sort of the way it feels like it's trending right now. You know, I do the podcast all year. So there was a moment in this season when people were talking about him as QB1, and then it falls off. But now it seems like it's sort of the roller coaster is headed back up again. What are you hearing from teams about him?
He actually interviewed tremendously well also. You have to understand, this is the son of a coach, and not just a high school coach, a college coach. His father, Jason Simpson, has been the coach at UT Martin since 2006. Ty Simpson was basically a Marv Marinovich-style ball in your hands at the cradle and has been a quarterback his entire life. And when he interviewed with teams, his cerebral nature, his ability to call out coverages. There was one moment where a team told me, they asked him, hey, Ty, give us the longest play call you've done. He named the down, the distance, the opponent, the score. He has one of those brains. That's something you don't see on film that you get in the interview process.
Limited number of games played, so much to talk about. He's going to be the most interesting player, I think, as we work towards the draft. That said, who do you think is the best player in the draft?
Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame. This young man put on an absolute show when it comes to physical talent and athletic ability at the combine. To be his size and to run 4.36 coming off of his performance in his career at Notre Dame, I know he's not going to go number one overall. That is more than likely going to be Fernando Mendoza. But when it comes to the best player in the draft, that's Jeremiah Love.
I've been hearing that all season long, from Mel, Mike, and the question is just about the position, right? How high are you willing to take a running back? Because there's no pick that's too high for the talent in this case.
Correct. And there were even some teams that said he could play receiver at the NFL. So I think going into the draft, we said, oh, he'll just go to Kansas City at 9.
Nah.
I agree with Dan. Oh, he's top 5 because he's so explosive. You take that time speed with 42 career touchdowns, Greeny. I can see John Harbaugh, first pick as a New York Giant, say, hey, we're going to build around this guy.
No shot he falls to number 9.
We'll see. The Giants obviously took Saquon Barkley once upon a time that high in the draft. We'll see if they do it again. And then, Peter, let's get to the player that you said was the most talked about one at the Combine, and, of course, it had nothing to do with the Combine.
Yeah, it's interesting at the Combine. You look at the drills, and we see those during the night, and we talk about the drills. But really the talk is about free agency, which is about to start next week, and it's going to be a bonanza. And the talk is that, well, Kyler Murray could be on his way. And barring a trade in the next couple of days, it looks like Kyler Murray very likely will be released and will have an opportunity to explore free agency. The question is, does Kyler Murray want to go for the most dollars available to a team that might be struggling and have a chance to actually make another boatload of dollars? Or does Kyler Murray want to go to a place to rehab his career and give himself a chance to win? Minnesota has been a place that has been talked about a ton. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy is there entering his third year of his career, but Kyler Murray would be there to push him and potentially challenge him for that role. Could Kyler Murray say, I'm going to take less dollars, but I'm going to go to Minnesota to potentially win that job and then rehab my career and parlay it into a different second chapter of his story?
Do you like it?
Love it. He's going to be 29 years old, Greeny. He started 87 games, and with that offense led by Justin Jefferson, if I was a quarterback and I could be coached by Kevin O'Connell with all those weapons they have in Minnesota, I would walk from Phoenix to Minnesota. And by the way, I wouldn't give up on J.J. McCarthy, who's 23 years old and has started 10 games, by the way. But they need competition, and with his athleticism and arm strength, they'll be able to get the ball down the field to arguably the best receiver in Justin Jefferson.
I only like it. I do not love it. If I were Minnesota, I'll go back to last week. My number one goal, trade for Mac Jones. Number 2 would be Aaron Rodgers, and then I would entertain Kyler. This is why I only like it. Kyler still, in Kyler's words, I want to be a playmaker. I want to be a playmaker. I want to be a playmaker. That's not the role of the quarterback in this offense. In this offense, point guard. That's why you see some guys that maybe aren't these wow physical talents thrive because they don't rely on like, oh, okay, let me go be the guy above the X's and O's. And that's why you sit there and go, there's guys that I sit there and say from a skill set make more sense. I'd also say this is, and I think the world of Kevin O'Connell. This is his first adversity, I feel, as a head coach. You know, coming off of we moved on from Sam, that's an organizational. This is an enormous signing. You have everybody else in your locker room you have to pay attention to. It can't just be about J.J. McCarthy's feelings and are we going to stunt his growth. You have a Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver that a year was wasted because of the
2 touchdowns.
Yeah. You know, it's like this is a big decision by Kevin O'Connell for his locker room.
Can I give you 2 more names that were buzzing there and tell me what you guys think on this? Daniel Jones is a possibility for Minnesota. And I know you say, well, Daniel Jones is going to go to the Colts. No. There's a chance the Colts transition him. There's also a chance that they don't. And then Daniel Jones is a pure free agent. He was there for half the season, and O'Connell and him got along. The other name, if he's released by the Las Vegas Raiders, Geno Smith is a possibility. It's more of that veteran voice. Hey, JJ, we're going to have a veteran voice in the locker room that maybe you didn't have last year.
You like those better?
I like both Daniel Jones and Geno Smith better than Kyler Murray.
For that offense.
Correct.
Specifically.
I just think,
final word.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, I don't see in Minnesota. They're right now $60 million over the cap. For them to get a player on a transition tag, they would have to front load the deal. I think that would be a really heavy lift.
All right, we have
Yep. Stepped off the field.
Look at the thistle, dude.
He's got it.
Look at the thistle on that lip whistle.
The hat is both stylish and functional.
Yes.
Farmer Mike, we're
Yes.
checking on the harvest here. Who's your needle in a haystack prospect?
Bryce Lance, guys. Trey Lance's younger brother. He came to the combine with great production, 127 receptions. But boy, did he tear up his workout. He ran a 4.34 and had a vertical of 41.5, broad jump over 11 feet, which when you look at all the athletic scores of wide receivers, he was the best overall. So when you combine that with his production, he really helped himself over the weekend.
Mike T, Randy has since introduced a hat onto his head, but at least it doesn't fit.
They rarely do.
Mike T, which prospect had a bumper crop of a performance, which is like a regular crop, but actually really, really good?
Gary, Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame. As we said to our colleague Hannah Storm from Notre Dame yesterday, he is the best football player in the draft. Looking at the graphic here, 4.36 40 guys with 42 career touchdowns. Without question, when you just think about football players, he is the best player in the draft. I think he could be an NFL wide receiver if he wanted to as well.
Oh, wow.
All right, so which prospect's performance, Mike T, bailed them out at the combine?
Yeah, Randy, Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama. There were real questions about him in terms of how he finished the season after a strong start, but he threw the ball exceptionally well. We're looking at this here. Again, he finished the season, 28 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. I thought of all the quarterbacks, he threw the ball most consistently, accurately, showed really good arm strength, and really helped himself with an outstanding workout on Saturday.
Mike T, whose performance had you saying, hey, H-A-Y?
Cardell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State, guys. He ran a 4.53. Now, look, I think he still could wind up being the best receiver out of this year's draft. He plays a lot faster than 4.53. There was a lot of people that were really surprised by his time speed. But again, the most important part is his play speed is outstanding. He'll be a first-round wide receiver, but that was a very surprising 40 time.
That is Farmer Mike.
It's Farmer Mike.
He certainly knows how to assess a harvest. Certainly. The boys of fall is generally when the harvest reaps, but
That's it.
we're in March, man.
Sometimes spring.
Yeah,
you get
sometimes spring.
Get your seeds planted. There you go, Mike T. Thank you, sir. Tip the cap to you. Partner.
Oh, we're hooping. Best